What's good, superstars? Back with another video. Today we are doing something new. We are introducing Cryptoys. You got Superstar Joe. You got Superstar Rob in the building. How's it going, Rob?
Pretty good.
Got lots of energy for this one. Really excited to do it. But guys, if you are new here, which a lot of you probably are, do not forget, become a superstar. Smash the subscribe button down below. Hit the bell notification so you know whenever we post. We do daily content and we try to cover as many projects as we love as possible. That's pretty big Easter egg right there if you don't know, but we're going to get right into that. Also, if you want, you can become a Superstar VIP, $2.99 a month. Hit the join button underneath the video. You get a nice star next to your name when you leave a comment, and as the time progresses, you upgrade through the stars, and you can show off better stars. We have drop spreadsheets, price prediction spreadsheets, first dibs on merch, and every single month at the end of the month, we do a giveaway for a star in the universe. We actually name a star after one of you in the universe, and that will be coming up end of May. We also have the one for April. We will be spinning tomorrow. So if you were entered in April, you'll be getting you'll be on that wheel of names. Yep. If you want to follow us, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and in the description, you will find our Discord, which is very active. I mean, we have great conversations. A lot of us were talking about this today. And also we have a PO box if you want to send us something and become a Superstar Hall of Famer. And shout out to all of the VIPs, the incredible VIPs who continue to support us and have been supporting us for months. We cannot express enough gratitude for you guys. Rob, how's it going?
Pretty good, man. Bombshell news today. I'm really excited to get into this and talk about it. I'm certain that not everyone watching this video has heard the news. They probably saw the title, and that's what's making them interested. So I'm excited to talk about there's a new kid in town with some serious players. So let's get into it, Joe.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pull up their website here, and as I mentioned earlier, it's called Cryptoys, and as you can see in the corner there, and they just announced a massive license, which is Disney and Star Wars. So basically, if you don't know, Disney is the parent company now of Star Wars, and their drop of Star Wars will be on May the 24th. So this is big news because not too many companies are able to secure these types of licenses. This is big IP. This is almost like their style is very unique as well. Like the type of characters that they do, it's almost like a Funko Pop style. So it's going to be interesting to see how the world adapts to this type of digital collecting. I know that there's other companies. Obviously, we've talked about VV on our channel and McFarlane and all these other companies, Quaid, a bunch of other companies that do this stuff. But this type of IP has been really only on VV up until this point.
Yeah, like they have all sorts of plans coming in terms of what you can actually do with these, the utility that will come with them, especially on the gamification side. But first of all, I have to say the quality, and they did a live stream today. If you can check out the Cryptoys YouTube channel, they did a live stream where they actually showcased some of the 3D modeling that they have for their digital collectibles, and the quality specifically for these Funko style ones are just incredible, especially with the lighting, the texture of them, and they're going to be animated, and that's the thing that I think is really interesting, how this is going to look in an animated format. But back to the first thing that you said, you cannot understate how significant it is that we now have another company that has officially licensed, we think licensed. We don't know how much involvement Disney may have, ownership of the company of any kind, but we know for sure it's officially licensed by Star Wars, by Disney. And that alone is the biggest, hardest step, I think, right there. Having that partnership and having the privilege to work with someone, a company like Star Wars and Disney, and have that IP that you can bring to your platform already gives you one step above like every other competitor right now in the market. And we know that this is hard to come. I mean, before this, we knew only of one, and now there's now a second player here, and it's going to be very interesting to see what they do with that. But specifically when it comes to the IP, this changes everything. Like, today for us on this channel is very different than yesterday because there is now another company which brought Disney IP in the digital collectible world is what brought us into the digital collectible world. The fact that it was Disney, and we have not been able to experience this on many other platforms. So this is really incredible.
Yeah, it's exciting. And shout out to Comics and Crypto, friends of the channel. They did an interview with the CEO and the community manager over there at Cryptoys. And one of the things that I picked up from that interview was really early on when Will, the CEO, mentions that Mattel is one of their partners, their licensed IP, but not only that, they actually are investors in the company. So it's not just IP at this point. They have actual financial backing by Mattel, which is one of the biggest toy brands of all time. I mean, you got Barbie, you got Hot Wheels, and any of the other big brands that they carry. It's incredible, and that's something else that I'm really excited to see how that plays out and how they do this. But I think anybody finding this right now, you are super early to this project, and the stuff that we've seen from them, even in today's video with their little live stream with their art team and a little bit of alpha that was dropped in there. It seems like they have a lot of potential.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of potential. They have a lot of things that we like, and then one thing that really stood out to me was the potential to have accessories. And we know this is something that is very interesting with digital collectibles, is that you can actually have add-ons to the collectibles, and you can maybe take something away. And specifically when it comes to Star Wars and this Vader drop, what they said on their live stream was that this lightsaber is actually a separate accessory from Vader. I think it comes with the drop, but you can actually detach it from Vader, and it's its own thing that maybe can be shared with another digital collectible. I don't know. I mean, they didn't really get too much into the specifics of it, but they mentioned that it's a separate entity, or almost like a separate mint from Vader. So it's kind of cool how they're going to do this. Like, how exactly is this going to go down? It's going to be like its own digital collectible. Vader's its own collectible, and it just comes paired, and then you can separate them and do some mixing and matching. But this is just one of like many, many different things that they said they had planned. And I thought the accessories just really stood out to me. It's a different kind of gamification. It's something that you can have a lot of fun with, but at the same time, it's not like your traditional way of actually like going into the game, moving around, jumping, things like that.
Yeah, that AMA was really cool, and that they talked about. The one thing that they really stressed was that digital is different than physical. So you are able to do things with digital that you cannot necessarily do with physical. So you don't need it to be exactly the same as a physical collectible. And one of those things is, I guess, the interchangeability. Maybe there's the movements and all that, but the lightsaber thing, the thing that was cool to me was they had the guy who wrote the smart contract on the video. So he was explaining how it's a 2-in-1 NFT. So you basically have the parent NFT, which would be like the Vader, and then like the kid NFT, which would be, or the token, I guess it's the parent token and the child token as the lightsaber. And then that child token could be transferred into different parents. And then they didn't really say if you can have two lightsabers. Somebody asked a question, but they didn't say you couldn't. So really, really cool to see that these things are possible and having accessories, because it's the first time that you're seeing this in this type of medium. Now, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna play off of that. I mean, it was just what you were talking about, the packaging, right? Like you reminded me there of how you can get on the drop, and I thought this was really, really interesting. You can actually get a packaged item, right? So you're talking about how they when they were talking about you can do things with the digital world, which we know of, like which we understand of being in this space, but you could have a little bit of you have no constraints of the physical world, so you can do things very different with the digital. And they have a very, very cool kind of, I have a feeling it's going to be 3D animated packaging, and you have a choice. You can either open it and see what's inside and play with your little dude, or you can leave it unpackaged and maybe maybe sell it for a future date. I don't know. And that I think is going to change the entire dynamics of the marketplace that they don't have yet, but we know they intend on bringing, because now you have the collectible, but then you have a whole bunch of unpackaged collectibles.
Yeah, and you're able to hopefully, I guess, right now, the one thing with this is that you see the marketplace tab up here. It is not active. So you're early, you're before the marketplace even comes, but you can actually see the tab ready to go on the website. So it is something that is in the pipeline. We don't know when yet, but that is one of the things that is maybe a deterrent for a few people, because once you buy, you're stuck with it. You cannot cash out yet. They say that they're working with a cash out provider trying to make it work out. And also the marketplace is not up and running yet. The one thing I wanted to add about the packaging is I was circling it over here. They have a stamp on this first drop of Star Wars. And as you can see, they'll be labeled first edition. So Pokemon cards vibes right away. that makes me wonder, are there going to be second editions? Are there going to be additional editions down the line? Maybe if it gets popular enough, because of what you can do with these when you unpackage them. I think maybe now's the time I should show the clip. But they had a couple of drops already happen. This is not the first drop on the platform. They've had Master of the Universe 3 variants, obviously He-Man. You got Skeletor in the most recent one. So really, really cool stuff. So a little bit of a clip from the Comics and Crypto stream. You can see Will down here. That's the CEO and community manager staff. So you click.
360 of your
once you open it, you'll see what
actually
happens.
Watch it come to life, which is kind of crazy. Immediately after we opened, now we can do 360. We can be, let me turn it around so we can see her face. We can be running, we can be jumping, do a little 360 spin jump.
Moonwalk. So a lot different than we're used to. Curious to see if there is AR capabilities. I mean, we are just hearing about this, taking in as much information as we can in the single day, right? But something definitely that we want to continue to look into further and learn about.
Yeah, we have a lot more to cover on the AR side of it, but we definitely know on the gamification side, you can see from that video that there is plans in terms of a metaverse style. I think they call it the Cryptoverse. I think they call it, right? Yeah. So they want to have a metaverse style.
Cryptoverse right here.
Yeah, Cryptoverse, right? Cryptoidverse, yeah. So you can bring them into you can actually bring these Star Wars characters into this verse and have actually interactions with them. And then one thing I want to mention here is that they did say that this would be almost a blind box format, something that we're very used to, where when you go for the drop, you have certain percentages and capabilities of getting different rarities of the digital collectibles on the drop. So you're not just guaranteed to get the Vader, let's say, with his helmet on. You might get the Vader with the mask removed. And we're going to learn more soon. I think Luke will be next week. I think they mentioned that we'll talk more about Luke and the different rarities for that. And then Leia. And then we'll see from there, the common, the rare. So they showed there 40% for the common, 30% for the rare, 20% for the legendary, 9% for they call the Grail, and then 1% for the Ultra Grail. And that's pretty incredible, pretty rare. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait for those drops. They said there's a total of 30,000 mints between the three, 10,000 each character, if I understood correctly. Yep. So that's that's pretty cool. And May the 4th. Wow. Like, look at this. What a surprise. Star Wars announced licensed digital collectibles on May the 4th. Didn't expect this.
It's wild. And it was just like, it was hit after hit after hit. And if you were in the live stream watching, there was some prestigious company in the chat there. I couldn't believe it, but we noticed that iJustine, if you don't know, 7 million subscribers, OG of YouTube, was in the chat. And I said, how did you find out about this project? She said a friend put her onto it. So you don't know if she's going to be covering it or not, but the fact that you got eyeballs from that level, like very, very high up in the tech world, and reviews and all that stuff, she's into it. That makes me bullish, and hopefully she continues to follow the project. Anyway, but I don't know. I think, sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, for those who don't know her, I mean, Andre Jake is what attracted us to the space in the first place. If it was Joe who discovered it originally between the two of us, and Andre Jake was the one who attracted us, and it was like what he had a million. I think at the time he had 1 million subs, or 1.7 or something like that. She has like 7 million subs on YouTube. She's been around even longer, and when you see that kind of I'm going to call it star power, right? That influence power with these projects, it makes you wonder how many people would actually put eyes on this project. They only had, when they did the live stream, like they didn't even have 1,000 subs yet on their YouTube channel, the Cryptoys. And that made me wonder. I'm like, that's not a lot, considering the fact that they now have officially licensed Star Wars IP on their platform. So I'm curious to see how quickly that number grows. We'll be tracking it, just because who knows, maybe in a week's time that will double, triple. We'll see. Right now we're in a bear market. The appetite isn't quite there for the digital collectibles, but it doesn't mean you can't still grow. So we're going to be tracking that, see where it goes.
The other thing that was really bullish for me about this was that, like I said, they did the live stream. They had the art team on. Someone asked the question. They said, is the dev internal? Is it outsourced? And they responded that it's all in-house. So to me, that's really, really good news, because that just shows that they have potential to all be on the same page at the same time. You don't have to brief new people outside about what you're doing. Everybody gets the memos. Everybody understands the direction. And I think everybody maybe is more invested in the work that's being done when it's that way. Right, Rob?
I have a couple thoughts about that. The first thought that I have is that when you have a sub-consultant, let's say, doing things for any company, right? Sometimes you have communication issues. They're not working directly for the company. They're not sitting side by side or having, direct, let's say, Teams links or whatever it is, right? In terms of their ability to interact and communicate. And then subs always have the mentality that it's them first. So they're always going to look out. They have their own schedule. They're trying to make their own money. But when you actually have your own artists in-house at your own company, you have the benefit of instant communication. And then you have the second benefit of consistency. Because, if that sub decides to rearrange the people that are on it, you might hire a company and they might staff one dude. And then they might decide, well, this dude's too busy on another project. We're going to flip somebody else in. When it's internal, you have the consistency of the same people every drop. So we talked about the quality of these digital collectibles earlier on and how they have incredible lighting and detail. Because it was done in-house, you can assume at that point that it's very likely that the same people will continue to work on the next drops going forward, and they will continue to bring those lessons that they've learned from the past drops and have a consistent quality or better going forward. So I think it's a huge bonus on the quality side that they stated that their development of their digital collectibles are in-house. That's, I think it's very important. I think it's going to help them do really well long-term.
It wasn't only that, the team that made the actual thing was on this video. Like, they were there. The people who designed it, they talked about the contouring, the textures. Like, it was so much information that we're not used to hearing about. And it was just nice and a pleasure to see that it was in-house, number one, and that the team was sufficient. It was a big team. It was a team that was dedicated. You had a team for lighting, you had a team for texture, you had a team for 3D modeling, you had a team for like research and development and all that. Like, it was overload. Like, I did not expect to get this much from just a little show and tell, as they called the video. And I think it was beneficial. Now, like I said, the things that we're waiting on are the marketplace. We want to learn about self-custody, because that's been a big gripe of ours with other projects. We want to know about interoperability. We've learned a little bit about the gamification, about accessories, but I think that the way that they go about their communications is going to be very important, because obviously there is some precedent now to learn from. The community in this type of environment is very, very sensitive towards timelines and also towards promises. So, I mean, I think they did a decent job not answering questions that they didn't want to answer. But I think moving forward, there's a lot of excitement that comes with big IP and big drops and having that type of information. So if things do get promised and not delivered on, I feel like just like anyone else, these guys will feel it. So hopefully they're able to tread those waters.
As they should. I mean, every company is required to answer to their clients and their customers, and they have now they've set big expectations. That's a great point you made, Joe. If you're going to bring in a IP like Disney and Star Wars, you're going to have to do them justice. So they have big plans. They've already shown us the quality. They've shown us the Cryptoid verse, or exactly how it's called. I guess we're gonna have to confirm that, but they've showed us what it can be. They've also talked about on our good friend Comics and Crypto. They also talked about golden tickets, right? They have the buying experiences where you can actually buy an experience and use your character in a gamified form. So the thing that I like is that they've shown us some kind of demo right off the bat. It wasn't like they said, we're going to do this and there's no demo that exists.
I like that.
The demo already exists on day one. So that just shows you that they were willing to state that this is coming, and here's the proof that it's already here. Yeah. It's just a matter of now going through the process and delivering it. This is their first drop, right?
It was a presentation more than it was a discussion, more than it was an AMA. It was a look at what we have done. This is what you can expect. And you're right. I totally agree. That's a great way to go about it. And it wasn't just in the live tonight. It was the live on Comics and Crypto channel. They were showing what happens when you open it. This is how it's going to play. You open it, you do this. These are the things that you can do it. Like it was. That's the thing that I'm really enjoying about these types of videos. And I hope they continue to do that. I just don't want them to get caught up with any of the like we've seen it before. So I want them to take the time. They know what they're doing. I think it looks like that they've got a great handle on expectations. And I agree with you. Perfectly way to put it is that they're showing and doing rather than talking.
Yeah. And speaking though of talking, the CEO in the Comics and Cryptos podcast there was talking about,
this is huge.
Was talking about how they were on the AI capabilities before anyone thought AI was cool. And I had to think about it. I'm like, what does he mean by this?
You said that out loud as we're watching the video.
Yeah. What does he mean by this? Like, what does he mean that they know about AI before AI even exists? And how does that work with digital collectibles? And at the end of it, my mouth just dropped, because what he's suggesting is that these digital collectibles could eventually be essentially a personality with ChatGPT built into them. So you can interact with them. Like, that's what's crazy.
He said that they have a team member dedicated to this, Rob. It's not that could happen. It's happening. They're paying somebody to do it. Like, that's the thing.
I want to see it, because imagine you have a digital collectible and then you can talk to it and it can just organically respond in character all the time. And if there's AR on top of that, oh my God, this is going to be, I feel bad for the kids of the next generation. They're going to be so addicted to
Their
this
friends
stuff.
are going to be all robots.
They're going to have fake digital friends. They're going to have fake digital friends. But he did mention about the dangers of AI. How do you control that? And that's why they have that person staff, because if you're going to let loose an AI as a toy that's going to respond organically, you better shore it up so that you don't get some kind of inappropriate responses to the little kids that just want to have some fun.
Yeah, and we hope. I mean, I want you guys to all go check out the Comics and Crypto video with Cryptoys. It's fantastic. Even if you're not about a new project, just what you can learn in that interview about what is potentially possible in the space, I think is it goes a long way. And at the same time, we will reach out to Cryptoys and try to get them on the channel and ask them some questions. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Maybe we can reach out and ask those questions for you as well. So I don't know. I think it's a good introduction for the space. I'd love to hear what you guys think.
Yeah, you guys got to let us know below. Like always, we need to hear from you. We want to see all your comments. What do you guys think about what we've just presented to you today? Did you attend the live? Did you see the live on the Cryptoys YouTube? What were your thoughts? You know, we want to hear Superstar Nation. Superstar Nation needs to let us know their thoughts below, because with your thoughts, we're able to, brainstorm, collect ideas, and from there we all learn and we all can maybe understand the space a little bit better. Are you guys hopeful about this project? Are you going to be interested in it? Are you going to go for their drop on May 24th? Or are you going to stay on the sidelines and say, you know what, maybe I want to see a little bit more before I just jump into it? So we want to hear from you. Make sure you let us know below. And guys, if you haven't already, don't forget, become a superstar, smash the subscribe button, join the Superstar family, hit the bell notification buddies, get every single video, every single day. We keep it coming. We got Star Wars all month right now. We got Star Wars all month. There's my art. Speaking of art, you want to see my art? There's my art. Okay. So guys, hit the bell notification button. You know we're going to be bringing something new to you every single day. And also Superstar VIPs. It's $2.99 a month. Get the star beside your name. Access to our spreadsheets. Maybe a giveaway in the universe. Get a star named after you from starnaming.com. We appreciate all your support. Thank you all so much. Take care. And we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Love you.